Hey YouTubers, it's Charlie. This is going to be my Supergirl Season 2 video just explaining what's going on because now it's part of the CW universe. They moved Supergirl to CW officially. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on. There's also some really cool Captain Cold stuff happening next year, but I'll explain that at the end of this just because it's a little bit different from the Supergirl stuff. But here's the deal with Supergirl. It has been renewed for Season 2. The whole reason that it's moving to the CW involves the audience that actually watched it. There were a lot of people that watched it, but not necessarily the people that CBS wanted to watch it, and money. CBS had to pay a huge license fee to Warner Brothers because Warner Brothers Television Studios produces it through Greg Berlanti's group because it's produced by the same people that make Flash, Arrow, Legends of Tomorrow, but CBS itself didn't own the show, so it had to pay a lot of extra money on top of the normal budget. One way that a lot of the shows on the CW, not just the DC shows, but all the shows on the CW, save money is by shooting in Vancouver. It's cheaper to make the episodes in Vancouver than it is in Los Angeles, and because they were shooting Supergirl in Los Angeles, that's extra cost on top of the license fee, on top of everything else like the special effects budget. For people that don't live inside the United States, just in general, TV networks typically earn their money through advertising. If it's really popular, they command a much higher rate, so each network has a really specific target demographic that they go for. And most of the people that were watching Supergirl weren't the people that CBS was advertising to, so from a production perspective, from an audience perspective, the CW is just a much better fit for Supergirl. And because it's made by the same people that make these other shows, and they want to cross them over, it's just a lot easier to do that too. If all the people that are doing Supergirl are on a studio lot that sits right next to where they filmed The Flash and Arrow, they actually had a pretty hard time crossing The Flash over with Supergirl. They had to fly Grant Gustin down from Vancouver, so the days that he was filming the Supergirl crossover, they had to take a break from filming the Flash TV show, so the longer that takes, the more production problems it happens. So the really good news now is that it's a lot easier for them to do a 3-night crossover. Supergirl, Flash, then Arrow. Like they've done the big Flash-Arrow crossover the last couple of years. Stephen Amell joked that the head of the CW network was totally down to do a 3-night crossover. He was talking about Legends of Tomorrow, so I'll actually explain a little bit. Because as awesome as a 3-night crossover would be, some of the bad side effects of bringing Supergirl to CW is that they have to slash the budget a lot. The budget for CW shows are way less than major network shows. So what they might do to save money on Supergirl is just do like 13 or 16 episodes, just reduce the episode count so they can still spend as much money as they need per episode to do the special effects, all the big action scenes. That doesn't mean it's going to solve all their budget problems. They're still going to have to slash their budget quite a bit. So once they figure things out behind the scenes, they'll probably announce how many episodes are actually going to be in Season 2. But I'm expecting somewhere between 13 and 16. I don't think they're going to do the full 20. But I really do feel like this is the best possible thing that could have happened to Supergirl. Because I feel like the writers were forced to water down a lot of the weirdness of DC Comics, like some of the things that make The Flash really awesome. I don't think CBS was quite as excited about taking chances with stories like that, just because network shows tend to be watered down for the lowest common denominator in general. So I'm hoping now that it's moving to the CW, they can just have a little bit more fun with the characters. They can make it every bit as weird as The Flash has been this season, because Supergirl is very much in the tone of The Flash, but hopefully they'll start production on Season 2 during the summer, and they'll have some footage to show off for Comic-Con, so we'll actually have an idea of what Supergirl on CW will look like. Because for the most part, we won't really know what's going on till they show it to us, but I think visually it won't look too different. The biggest difference will be in the types of stories and the types of characters that they use, in the way they cross over with the other shows. So what I really want to know is if they're going to keep Supergirl on a different Earth, because that's the way they explained the crossover this year, because CBS was like, this is our show, she's going to be on our Earth, we don't want to have to address what's going on in The Flash, but now that the CW will own the show, there aren't any of those problems. Supergirl can totally exist on Earth 1 with Team Flash. Let me know in the comments though, do you think they'll try to put her on Earth 1 with Oliver and Barry? I feel like there is some kind of Justice Society episode around the corner, whether or not they actually get to use that name. But they might now that they have a Supergirl. But the other big news they just announced, on Legends of Tomorrow, Captain Cold is not going to be a series regular in Season 2. What that means is that he's not going to be in every single episode, but he will pop up from time to time. This is really funny, and it's something that would only happen in this Berlanti-verse of shows that are all connected. He signed an overall contract to be a series regular on all the TV shows. Now what that means is that he's just going to be popping up on every single DC show all season long. So he'll be a series regular, meaning that in any given week, he'll be on one of the shows. So one week he might be on The Flash, the next week he might be on Arrow, The other week, he might be on Legends of Tomorrow. He might even show up on Supergirl. But I feel like this is awesome for Captain Cold. It's bad for Legends of Tomorrow. I'll talk a little bit more about it during my Legends video this week. That might not post till Saturday just because there's so much stuff that I'm catching up on. If you're wondering why there's all this TV news today, it's because this is one of the last days for networks to either cancel or renew TV shows. So there's a whole bunch of stuff that got canceled. Like Agent Carter has been canceled. Next big video is going to be my Voltron video. I still have a Flash trailer video to do. There's a whole bunch of stuff, so be sure to subscribe to get everything. While you guys wait for that video to post, you can click here for my Assassin's Creed trailer video, and you can click here for this week's episode of The Flash. Thank you so much for watching, everybody. Let's high five. I'll see you guys tonight.